Let's say you see this kind of a simple question in your chemistry JAMB exam. How will you solve it? This question is the simplest I've seen so far. The question says, calculate the volume of 0.5 moles per dm cube of H2SO4 that is neutralized by 25 cm cube of 0.1 moles per dm cube sodium hydroxide. This question is simple and you can see the options. This question is a question from volumetric analysis, that is acid-base reaction. And we all know that an acid-base reaction is a reaction where an acid react with a base, right? To form what? Salt and what? Water only. That is the neutralization reaction. Now, in this question, what are they asking us to find? They're asking us to find the volume of what? H2SO4. That is the volume of the acid, right? So now, what is the acid that is reacting in this equation? In this question, H2SO4. So let's write the acid. And this particular type of question, there's something you must always note, and that thing is balancing the chemical reaction. It is very important because if you don't, you are going to get it all wrong. So H2SO4 plus what? What is the base? NaOH. That's sodium hydroxide, NaOH, to give what's going to be the product if these two things react, these two acid and base. Of course, they're going to give us salt and water. What is the salt? The salt is going to be sodium sulfate. That's Na2SO4. From this, the positive ion of this particular reactant with the negative ion of this cation, anion, and all. So Na2SO4 plus water, right? Now the question is that, is this equation balanced? If you don't know how to balance a chemical reaction, I have made a video on it here on my TikTok as well as my YouTube. Go and watch it because it's going to help you. So let's quickly balance it. How many atoms of sodium do we have on the reactant side? Just one, right? How many do we have on the product side? We have two. So we need to make it two here too. And what can we do? We need to add two moles. And if you add that, it's going to affect every other thing. So sodium is already balanced. Let's move to oxygen. We have how many oxygen here? 4 plus 2 here, that's 6, right? 4, 2 here, 1 times 2 is 2 now, 6. So here we have 4 and we have 1, so that's 5. So we need to make it both to be 6. And how can we do that? We need to alter the number of moles here. We can change it to 2. So that way we have 2 moles, 2 atoms of oxygen here and 4. So 2 plus 4 is 6. So oxygen is already balanced. What else? Sulfur is 1 here. Sulfur is also 1. Sulfur is balanced. What else? Hydrogen is 2 here. Hydrogen is 2 here. So 2 plus 2 is 4. And we have 4 hydrogen here. So this is balanced. So now let's continue solving this question. So what formula are we going to use to solve this question? We know our normal volumetric analysis formula now, which is what? Ca Va over Cb Vb is equal to Na over Nb. Now the question is that what is the meaning of this rubbish I just wrote? Ca is concentration of acid in moles per dm cube. Cb concentration of base in moles per dm cube. Va volume of acid in dm cube. Volume of base in dm cube. And Na is what? Number of moles of acid in the balanced reaction. Can you see why I told you that we need to balance this reaction? And Nb is the number of moles of base in the balanced reaction. If you are preparing for JAMB 2026, my tutorial in this JAMB 2025, we produced excellent students that performed extremely well, as you can see as I'm placing it up here. And this year too, we are organizing a very, very intensive JAMB tutorial where we'll be teaching chemistry, physics, biology, mathematics, and use of English. This tutorial is just 5,000 naira per month. And if you want to join the train of students that want to get 300 plus in JAMB, click on the link on my bio and then select the option to join Mass Chem Premium class, or send me a message on this number on WhatsApp. So let's continue. Now that we've gotten this formula, what are we looking for? Volume of acid, which is our Va. So let's quickly put in all our values. Ca, concentration of acid is what? 0.5 moles per dm cube. They gave us. So just write your 0.5, right? Times Va, we don't know it. That we don't know now. Over Cb, concentration of base, 0.1. 0.1 times what? Volume of base. What is the volume of base? 25 cm cube. So let us continue with our solving, right? What is the number of moles of acid, right? Number of moles of acid in the balanced reaction is what? 1. You can see 1. There's no mole, so just write 1 over number of moles of base in the balanced reaction, 2, right? This is the base, 2. So now what we want to get is our V. How will you get this? You can just basically make V or something like the formula by cross multiplying. Let's just quickly cross multiply. Multiply whatever is under with whatever is above. So you're going to have something like 2 times 0.25 times V is going to be equal to, I use this to multiply this, you can see, equal to 0.1 times 25, 0.1 times 25 times 1 as well. It's still going to be the same thing. So if you multiply 2 times 0.1, that will give you 1 now, normal. 1 times V is still V. So you're going to multiply this 0.1 times 25. 0.1 times 25 will give you what? 0.1 times 25 will give you what? 2.5. So your V is going to be equal to what? 2.5 cm cube. So I hope this is very simple to understand. And you can see your answer. What's the answer? B. So this is the answer, and I'll see you guys in the next one. If you have any questions, you can drop them in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.